after it convicts you of committing a crime.
And so, Judge Andrew Napolitano has his opinion. There are other opinions, mainly by GOP candidates, very upset with the president's announcement today.
President Obama has been lawless in his use of executive orders, whether those executive orders are around immigration or whether those executive orders are around gun control.
His first impulse always is to take rights away from law-abiding citizens, and it's wrong. And to use executive powers he doesn't have is a pattern that is quite dangerous.
This president is a petulant child. Whenever he can't get what he wants, because, quite frankly, the American people have rejected his agenda by turning both the House and the Senate over to the Republicans, and going from 21 governors when he came into office to 31 Republican governors now. Now this president wants to act as if he's a king, as if he's a dictator.
I don't like anything having to do with changing our Second Amendment. The one thing good about executive order, the new president, if he comes in, boom, first day, first hour, first minute, you can rescind that.
Yes. And so that's just about everyone. Chris Christie, I think, said it the best. Chris Christie made it very, very clear that what the president was doing was just simply not American.
This president is a petulant child. Whenever he can't get what he wants, because, quite frankly, the American people have rejected his agenda by turning both the House and the Senate over to the Republicans, and going from 21 governors when he came into office to 31 Republican governors now. Now this president wants to act as if he's a king, as if he's a dictator. Fact is, if he wants to make changes to these laws, go to Congress and convince the Congress that they're necessary. But this is going to be another illegal executive action, which I'm sure will be rejected by the courts.
Yes, it will, but it will take time. And by the time the courts have acted, the president will have left office, so that he can cling to the fact that he was the only president that ever did anything to try to rescind the Second Amendment of the Constitution, and thereby fall under the category most eloquently described by James Madison, the author of the Constitution, who called those who would try to set aside the Second Amendment traitors. You can look it up. I did. Americans for Limited Government came up with something that is truly amazing. The President of the United States, looking for common sense gun law, seems to want to set aside a common sense gun law that actually works. More about that in just a moment. Carl in Fort Worth, welcome to the Wells Report.
Yes, very good show.
Thank you.
I was, whenever he said something, I was wondering, he's talking about women too.
Yes.
So I'm thinking about all the women, and I know a few that work downtown Fort Worth and Dallas and have to walk out in them parking lots in the dark. And my sister is a CL holder, and my niece
CHL holder,
is too.
yes.
You mean he's going to take these guns away from women?
Well, what he's going to try to do is make it as difficult as possible for them to get them, which is not taking them away. That's not what's happening. He's just going to make it more difficult for law-abiding citizens to get weapons, because law-abiding citizens will be the only people that pay any attention to what President Obama does with his phone and his pen when he enacts these executive orders. None of the things that he can enact will have had anything to do with stopping anything that we've seen, including the San Bernardino terror attack, which happened just a few weeks ago. This is worse than doing nothing. This is worse than doing nothing. Don Todd writes for Americans for Limited Government. The President, Hillary Clinton, every progressive liberal that you know of or think you know of in the legacy media have devoted time to advocating the disarming of law-abiding Americans. That's an overstatement, but certainly hindering law-abiding Americans from purchasing weapons and labeling the National Rifle Association a terrorist organization, which is just pure hyperbole that I think speaks succinctly and clearly about the mental deficiencies of those who would say something about the NRA. It's just ridiculous. The claim is Congress should only enact common sense gun safety laws. If they would do that, our long national nightmare would be over. The only problem with that is that cities including Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit have become weekend shooting galleries. Most of the victims are young black males with collateral damage to a number of 5-year-olds and other innocents caught in the crossfire. There is, however, one city that used to have a program that not only fixed whether or not somebody was about to get shot, but also had a mechanism for removing illegal weaponry from the street. Crazily enough, it was actually holding criminals accountable for having weapons they should not have, as opposed to holding law-abiding citizens accountable for weapons they should have. Do you know what the law was called? Do you know where it happened? It happened in New York City. Stop, question, and frisk. That's where it happened. A law enforcement program designed to take illegal guns off the streets and thereby reduce the number of gun homicides. People engaged in suspicious activity are stopped, questioned, and if necessary, frisked. If they are found to have an illegal weapon in their possession, they are eligible for a 3-year mandatory prison sentence. It works. The number of guns on the streets drops dramatically. David Dinkins, the former mayor of New York, gave way to Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Giuliani instituted the program, insisted on it, was continued by leftist Mayor Michael Bloomberg. The results were stunning. The number of homicides in New York City went 2,605 in 1990 to 414 in 2012. It's an 84% annual reduction in lives lost. A majority of them, black lives. You would think that Black Lives Matter would have some access to this information, wouldn't you? Since the program was halted by Mayor de Blasio, the murder rate is rising. The leftist solution being, when it comes to rising urban crime rates, is to release thousands of drug-dealing merchants of Black Death onto the streets and take away guns from otherwise defenseless, law-abiding Americans. That is what this logical process, or what they determined to be a logical process, has led the American left to. And the President of the United States, focused, as you might expect him to be, on the really serious problem of terrorism in the United States, has totally ignored that extra dimension of foolishness and now wants to make it as difficult as possible for we, the people of the United States, to defend ourselves against terrorists in our midst. You have no idea who they are. No idea. Neither does anyone else.
EOS Mobile.
The leftist solution to the rising urban crime rate is to release thousands of drug-dealing merchants of Black Death onto the streets and take away guns from otherwise defenseless, law-abiding Americans. Thousands of these so-called non-violent drug offenders have been released by the President of the United States onto American cities, forced to their knees under the weight of crime and killing. And the only law that did anything to stop it was stopped by the very people that seek to take away your opportunity to defend yourself and seek to put you in a position where, when seconds count, the police are minutes away. What happens between then and the police arrival, well, that's your problem. This is the Wells Report. Leftist progressive politicians have been funded dutifully by big cell phone companies. Big cell phone companies realize it's good business to put leftists in office. Obama phone, ring a bell? Yeah, that was $1 billion worth to the American cell phone industry. But that's not where the money stops. Big cell phone companies have donated $100 million to leftist causes, politicians, and agenda. And oh, by the way, they're very successful at getting these people elected. Some 10,000 liberal politicians are now in office thanks to this idea. And by the way, who is funding it? That's right, you. You're funding it. Every time you send your payment for your cell phone to your big-time cell phone company, you're enabling all of this. Is that where you want your money going? No? Let me tell you about eoscell.com. EOS Mobile, by conservatives for conservatives. An organization that gives you cell phone service, text, all the things that you need at 10 to 15% lower prices, will buy out your contract, will allow you to pick the cell phone of your choice, from a simple one to your iPhone 6 Plus. All you have to do is say, you know, I'm tired of supporting leftist causes with my cell phone bills, and get in touch with EOS Mobile. Here's how you do it. Get in touch, eoscell.com. That's EOSCELL.com. EOScell.com. Get in touch right this minute. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer. Bill Bennett's Morning in America.
ISIL combines viciousness with very savvy media operations.
Okay, media operations. It's all media manipulation. What about death? This is an attack on civilization, frontal attack on civilization in France and then in San Bernardino. But, you know, it's media saturation. What the heck is wrong with this guy?
Bill Bennett's Morning in America. Weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I love birthdays, and our friends at Abacus Foundation Repair are celebrating 15 years of serving North Texas with the highest quality foundation repair, and they want to give something to you. On their 15th anniversary, $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. Not only are you going to save $1,000, you'll have the peace of mind knowing that with Abacus Foundation, you're getting the elite state-of-the-art solution for your home. Millennium composite pilings. Nobody else has them. Abacus has an A-plus business rating from the Better Business Bureau, 6 straight years running on that. The expansion and contraction of Texas soils mean a lot of us have foundation issues. You don't want to call the wrong people. Call the right people first for the absolute best foundation repair. Affordable, reliable home warranty that you can pass on to subsequent owners of your home. Give them a call today, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, abacusfoundationrepair.com. Ask about $1,000 off. abacusfoundationrepair.com.
I'm Steve Sidkowski, a former Wall Street insider. Right now, I'm holding a book that could change your life. It will show you investing strategies which could help you earn the kind of money you've always dreamed about. And right now, I'm giving this book away for free. So who needs to read it? If you're in the middle of your career and you worry you'll never have enough money to retire, you need to read this book. If you're already retired and your income isn't enough, you need to read this book. And if you don't want to be selling burgers at the age of 80, well, you need to read this free book. The reality is you'll need at least $1 million to ever fully retire. If you're behind on that goal, you really need to read Trade Like the Pros. And you can for free by calling 1-800-900-2040. Are you skeptical that it will deliver results? It's a free book, so what do you have to lose? Find out how at 1-800-900-2040. That's 1-800-900-2040. 1-800-900-2040.
It's a new year, a new you, and new open carry laws here in the great state of Texas. That's right. While others are hitting the gym hoping to look good for 2016, you're looking for that new gun to show off to your friends. You could get your new gun anywhere, but no place will have a selection quite like Texas Gun Pros. When it comes to buying guns, Texas Gun Pros is here to help. Come in and let our guys match you with the perfect gun to meet your needs for 2016. Whether it's for hunting, personal protection, or just having fun at the range, Texas Gun Pros has it. With our local inventory and vast online catalog, you have access to thousands of guns from the country's best distributors. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you your New Year's look instantly. Don't be the last of your friends to buy the newest and coolest gun for 2016. Stop by our North Richland Hills location or visit us on the web at TexasGunPros.com. That's TexasGunPros.com, and see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
660 AM, The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. Jon-David Wells at your service. 866-660-5759. It is the law of the land. I'm discussing open carry. That's right, open carry. What's kind of cool on that is, by the way, that's open carry is... in order for you to carry open, you must first have a concealed handgun license. You got to have a CHL to carry open. You know, the law has taken effect, and I have yet to see anyone carrying open. Did you guys see anybody carrying open since January 1st? Anybody? Anyone? Bueller? Yeah, the only thing that people are concerned about is whether or not the people that have declared certain places in, say, Tarrant County off limits to people carrying open will stay out of a courtroom where they have to prove that there's a reason for people not to carry open in those particular locations. You see, Americans can carry weapons. Americans can protect themselves. I say we should let them. And I say that those people who don't want to let us need to leave public life. Don't you agree? This is the Wells Report.
One of the things about winter is our air conditioning bill goes down quite a bit, but our heating bill goes up quite a bit. So you start looking at the balance and realize that you're still spending $300 or $400 or $500 a month on utilities. You're giving that away, and at the end of the year, you've spent $6,000 and you have absolutely nothing to show for it. You know what you could do? You could put in some energy efficient replacement windows. One of the things that our windows do is pay for themselves in 3 to 5 years. We all want to stay more comfortable. We all want to live in a nice environment. One of the ways to do that is quality replacement windows. Hi, I'm Dave Trainer of the Window Connection. I'd love the opportunity to come out, look over your home, show you what some options might be, bring you samples. We offer 10 different manufacturers and would love to show you what new replacement windows can do on your home.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
Be honest. Will owning a bigger TV help you get ahead in life? Will another pair of shoes make you a better person? Probably not. But what if you could speak another language? If acquiring a new language excites you more than acquiring more stuff, then wait until you hear this. As part of its biggest language learning event in history, Rosetta Stone is giving away demos of its powerful language learning software absolutely free. For your free demo, call 1-800-300-2545. And Rosetta Stone has made language learning more convenient than ever. Learn on your computer or iPad, then practice on the go with your smartphone or MP3 player without ever opening a book or memorizing boring vocabulary again. Do you want more stuff, or do you want a language that will last a lifetime? After all, it's all about priorities. To try a free demo of this powerful language learning software, call 1-800-300-2545. Again, get your free demo now. 1-800-300-2545. That's 1-800-300-2545.
Hi, folks. Bill Thomas here with Accurate Foundation Repairs. If you think your home has foundation issues, we'll send one of our highly trained technicians out to give you a free, accurate assessment of your home's foundation at no charge. Accurate Foundation Repair is the only company in the industry that has its warranty backed up by a third-party insurance company. Structure home warranty. Call Accurate Foundation Repair now, 972-623-2500, or on the web at AccurateFoundationRepair.com.
Accurate Foundation Repair. give you a lift for a whole lot less.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Paul Stevens. President Obama set for executive action on gun control, saying his orders comply with the law and the Second Amendment.
It will potentially save lives in this country and spare families the pain and the extraordinary loss that they've suffered as a consequence of a firearm being in the hands of the wrong people.
One goal, closing the so-called gun show loophole. Saudi Arabia's UN ambassador Abdallah al-Mualimi saying Iran did nothing to protect the Saudi embassy in Tehran amid demonstrations protesting the Saudi execution of a Shiite cleric.
Those attacks were unprovoked. They constituted very serious violations of international norms and laws and regulations.
The White House calling for calm. The Pentagon saying military kids are assaulted hundreds of times each year. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You're listening to 660 AM, The Answer, the Dennis Prager Show.
I'm a good one at storing energy. That's why I have no burnout in my life. I'm very aware that life is a marathon. And you could even look at it this way, that the year is a marathon. And you can't run at the exact same highest pace all year. You will fatigue.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM, The Answer.
There's no doubt Christians are facing strong persecution all across the world. There's a war on Christianity. Just as recently as this past November in Rwanda, Muslim groups were buying up all the Bibles they could find and burning them, so that no one could read and learn the message inside. In these small villages, it's hard enough for local churches to have even one Bible for their pastor. And now they're all burned for no one to read. You can help though. You can provide a Bible to a church pastor in one of these African communities for only $15 with Harvesters. Harvesters' mission is to plant churches in these lost communities by providing Bibles to the church pastors, teaching them sound instruction, and multiplying their church. Some of these pastors have to walk miles a day to find a Bible, memorize the passage, and then walk all the way back to preach to their church. But you can make sure that these pastors have a Bible in their own language with Harvesters. Learn more by going to 660amtheanswer.com and clicking on the Harvesters banner today.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-500-4715. That's 1-800-500-4715. 1-800-500-4715.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Arizona State University now offers over 90 top-tier degree programs, 100% online. With ASU's highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus students, with the ability to learn wherever you want, whenever you want. Same world-renowned faculty, same leading education, same global recognition from one of the top universities in the world. Call 1-800-400-8407. That's 1-800-400-8407.
I'm Jamie from Sherman Oaks, and I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received the quality education I deserved in the major I wanted, all from my home.
Jamie's not the only one to earn a degree from ASU. There are over 90 degree programs offered 100% online from one of the top universities. Now's the time to learn more about earning your degree online from Arizona State University. Call 1-800-400-8407. That's 1-800-400-8407.
Here's a crazy idea from Cash Call Mortgage. Take the mortgage you closed in the last year and look at redoing it at today's 15-year fixed 3.125% rate and APR with no closing costs. Just call 855-875-CASH, and with no cost or obligation, we'll tell you how much your payment could drop with the do-over refi. And you won't pay any points, deposits, or fees. None. It's so easy. Just do the regular paperwork, most of which you already did for your last refi, and we'll do the rest. So make the cash call at 855-875-CASH for today's 15-year fixed 3.125% rate and APR with absolutely no closing costs. The do-over refi, only from Cash Call Mortgage. Call 855-875-CASH and see for yourself.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard West, Suite 200, Orange, California 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 855-657-9910 for terms and restrictions. Subject to loan underwriting. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 128231.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret that credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Debt Relief Advocates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-700-5828. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Debt Relief Advocates now and see how much money you could save for free. 1-800-700-5828. That's 1-800-700-5828. 1-800-700-5828.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
When I was a little kid growing up in the mountains of North Carolina in a little town called Brevard, I had the very best array of little kid play guns and stuff that any little kid could ever have. I had a Johnny Lieutenant M14 rifle that looked like an M14 rifle. I had a fake little 38 special that fired those plastic caps, the ones that were so loud they made you think that you were actually firing a 38 special. I had a Thompson submachine gun water pistol that was made in West Germany. I don't know how my dad got it. I never really asked. But if I'd have had any of those weapons and happened to be walking in a park somewhere in Cuyahoga County in Ohio near Cleveland, I might very well be dead today, except for one unmistakable reason. More about that in a minute. Clarence Page wrote a brilliant column. It's in the Dallas Morning News. You simply have to read it. Before he announced the grand jury's decision regarding the Cleveland police officer who shot and killed 12-year-old Tamir Rice, Cuyahoga County prosecutor Timothy McGinty warned the outcome will not cheer anyone. He got that right. The grand jury would not be indicting officers Timothy Lohman and Frank Garmbach. Lohman claimed he had no choice but to fire at Tamir after he saw the lad pull a gun from his belt that turned out to be a realistic-looking pellet gun. For his part, prosecutor McGinty said it would be irresponsible and unreasonable if the law required a police officer to wait and see if the gun was real. Really? Clarence Page joins us now. Sir, this is a brilliant column. Right on time.
Thank you.
Beautifully written, and your analysis and everything is first rate. Talk to us a little bit about where that column goes after the quote from McGinty that it would be irresponsible and unreasonable if the law required a police officer to wait and see if the gun was real. Where did it go from there?
Well, my column tries to examine the conflicting issues that are involved with this case. But, you know, the question about whether or not the police officers acted properly, we're all a part of it because this whole episode was videotaped, as I'm sure most, if not all of your audience knows, and that this is something that's been shown on TV over and over again. The police officers jumped out of the car. Well, one of the officers jumped out of the car after they pulled up all of a sudden as the kid's turning around. And within 2 seconds, the officer's firing. And we don't have sound with this video, so we don't know if the officer said anything or not. But if he did say something, he didn't wait for a response, judging by the video. And so this has become a real, as we used to say in Chicago when I used to cover the police and the courts there, this has become a real heater case now. Only nationwide people talk about it.
Oh man, this is something that has got to be talked about. It's something that can't go another day without it. The Rice family is extremely dubious about the fact there's no soundtrack on this video, as am I. I haven't seen a piece of police video as far back as 1980 that didn't have sound on it.
Yeah, well, except I have, unfortunately, in another case in Chicago, the Laquan McDonald case, that is in similar fashion to the case in Cleveland. A police officer shot and killed a teenager, and it was witnessed by about 5 different cameras and almost that many police officers who. The police officer's official report was that the officer, Jason Van Dyke, who had fired in self-defense. But on the video, you can clearly see that the young man was walking away from the officer, not toward him, and was only holding a knife, not a gun, and was suddenly shot not once but 16 times by the officer, who kept firing even after the kid had fallen on the ground. So this is another case where there's sound missing from the video. And
yeah.
These were dash cam videos that the police cars had, and also a video camera in a nearby Burger King, which was apparently the tape or the digital cartridge, whatever was used for the recording. After a police officer went in and was alone with it, the next day that manager discovers that there's 45 minutes of missing video.
Isn't that strange?
So it's a similar kind of a thing. So this is something I've been seeing happen in 2 or 3 unfortunate cases here in the country, and it's just obviously fed the national controversy over police accountability versus what's the role of race. Because here again, that was a white officer in Chicago and a young black male on the street.
As was the case with Tamir Rice in Cuyahoga County, Cleveland. Now, I don't know whether you were able to hear what I said at the beginning of this segment, but I had very, very cool toy weapons that were very, very authentic looking, and I managed to walk through my entire life without any police officer even drawing down on me. It's almost as if they wanted to see, first of all, whether it was indeed a real rifle or pistol, and whether or not I was doing anything threatening with it. It seems that a little kid standing in a park, essentially all alone with his gun in his waistband, really isn't looking for a gunfight.
Yeah, that's right. And you mentioned little kid. This has become a point of debate. You know how everything is debated in the country these days, 24/7 in broadcast media, et cetera. And a number of conservatives have said, well, this kid was big for his age. And that may be true. In fact, he apparently wore size 12 shoe. I don't know that's for sure, but a couple of accounts have said that. And this may well be true. There's also a university study came out about 3 years ago that found with young black males, people tend to overestimate their height and size. So there's nothing really definitive about this whole argument. You've got plenty of room on all sides for people to argue, but it seems to me, though, I should point out in fairness that the little orange cap that normally comes on the barrel of toy guns. This kid or somebody had removed that cap, so that made the toy gun look even more realistic. But nevertheless, the thing is, these officers did not respond to the police call in the way that police officers tend to be trained more and more these days. Which is to if you heard there's a man with a gun or a kid with a gun, you pull up, but at a safe distance where you can still control things and call for the man, woman, whatever, to throw down the weapon, whatever. You engage them in some way. In this case, as I say, the police car pulls up, one officer jumps out and fires within 2 seconds, and you can see this on the video. So it's very, in other words, there wasn't much time given for the kid to say who he was or whatever, or to respond to a call to throw the weapon down.
Pulitzer Prize-winning syndicated columnist from the Chicago Tribune, Clarence Page, our guest tonight on the Wells Report. He's also an author of multiple books, including Showing My Color, Impolite Essays on Race and Identity. More about that book coming up in just a couple of moments. I was extremely upset about the Chicago killing of Mr. McDonald. I watched the police video, and I'm not one to try cases on the radio. I just don't do that. Obviously, it's not what you're supposed to do. But I was saying to myself, and I said it on the air, that, I don't know exactly how that's going to go in a courtroom, but let me explain something to you. They're going to have a really tough time explaining why Laquan McDonald is not with us anymore. And all I can say is, on this particular case, when I was reading about Tamir, and your point about how people believe that young black males are bigger and taller and faster and so on and so forth, I've got 4 sons, all right? Mm-hmm. And I tried to grow them as big as I possibly could, as young as I possibly could, by feeding them as well as I possibly could, to the lament of my 3rd son, Mitchell, who once looked at his size 12 feet and says, "I've got clown feet." The difference.
Like my son, by the way.
Yeah, the difference between these kids that we're discussing is inescapable. In that their skin is white, and Laquan and Tamir are not. And I'm carrying right this minute. I don't want you to freak out, Clarence, but I have a knife with me right now that's got a 4-inch blade on it, right this moment.
Right.
So what am I about to do? I'm about to go on a killing spree with my knife?
Yeah, that's the sad thing about it here, that there was no apparent lunging or movement toward the officers at all on the video. You can plainly see. And this has now become a political issue in Chicago, as so many things do. But in this case, the video, this episode occurred like in October of last year, 2014, and the video was in the custody of the county prosecutor, right through the mayoral race and the mayoral runoff that was won by incumbent Mayor Rahm Emanuel. And it's only just this year, this October, that through the courts, an investigative reporter was able to have that video released and made public. And now people think that Rahm was trying to cover up this episode with the police officer to prevent it from getting in the way of his reelection. And this is, as you know, the Chicago's homicide rate has been a big issue here in recent years. And that's Rahm is back in office, but he also, I should say the Mayor's Corporation Council, the city lawyers, asked the city council to pass a $5 million settlement for the family of McDonald. which the family hadn't even asked for. The family had not filed any claim or a lawsuit or anything, but the corporation counsel asked the city council to approve this $5 million payment, and the aldermen went along with it. Now they're angry, especially the black aldermen who come from the wards that have the highest homicide rates. They feel like they've been used, and they called for the resignation of the police superintendent, and he did resign once this video was released, and there was such a blowback that he was forced out of his job. Emmanuel's been reelected, but the state's attorney, the prosecutor, Anita Alvarez, she is up for renomination in the primary in March. She's got a couple of strong opponents, and many people are giving her very long odds on getting reelected.
And that is, I think, a good thing. I think that's a good thing indeed. Clarence Page is our guest, syndicated columnist with the Chicago Tribune. He's going to continue talking with us. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about just exactly how did we get to the point where police seem to shoot first and then think later. Next on the Wells Report. The 2016 presidential election is quite literally the most important election of our lives. We've been saying that for years now. Each election becoming successively more important than the last. Well, this is the one. And how can we do what we can do to affect the change we want for the United States? Whether your politics agree with mine or not, there has to be a way. Well, there is. Stop doing what you do, up to and including using your same cell phone company. Big cell phone companies have spent hundreds of millions of dollars electing liberal, progressive, leftist politicians. Now, if that's your politics, more power to you. You're with the right horse. But if you disagree that your money should be used that way, perhaps you should contact EOS Mobile, better known as EOScell.com. EOScell.com is a company that has been put together by conservatives for conservatives. If you want 5% of your money that you spend on your next cell phone to go to conservative agenda items, conservative candidates, and conservative causes, you want to go to EOScell.com. EOScell.com is easy to get in touch with. They will buy you out of your contract. You will be able to keep your same phone number, and all you have to do is get in touch right this minute. Fire up that computer you've got there, double-checking everything I say. Here's what you do. Go to www.eoscell.com. That's www.eoscell.com. That's eoscell.com. Get in touch immediately. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
Truth spoken here. More of which is next. The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hi, Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy here, host of the #1 boating talk show, the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, live every Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer. Get local and national boating news along with expert tips from boating royalty and myself on how to protect and maintain your boat. Lake Level Ginger has your lake's level and temperature. Kevin Strickland's expert advice is straight to the point. Have fun with us on Saturdays at 6 p.m. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I love birthdays, and our friends at Abacus Foundation Repair are celebrating 15 years of serving North Texas with the highest quality foundation repair, and they want to give something to you. On their 15th anniversary, $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. Not only are you going to save $1,000, you'll have the peace of mind knowing that with Abacus Foundation, you're getting the elite state-of-the-art solution for your home. Millennium composite pilings. Nobody else has them. Abacus has an A-plus business rating from the Better Business Bureau, 6 straight years running on that. The expansion and contraction of Texas soils mean a lot of us have foundation issues. You don't want to call the wrong people. Call the right people first for the absolute best foundation repair. Affordable, reliable home warranty that you can pass on to subsequent owners of your home. Give them a call today, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, abacusfoundationrepair.com. Ask about 1,000 off, abacusfoundationrepair.com.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-3811. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-3811. 1-800-700-3811.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country?